My three biggest concerns for Ohio State going into 2024. Let's talk about it. All right, we're all excited for this season, right? 2024 going to be a huge season. We want to see our Buckeyes win the national championship this year, and I think the Buckeyes can definitely do it, right? We have all this talk about how good the roster is. I think we have some really good coaches who can make this happen. I think they're really hungry. They're ready to get these guys humming, get these guys going. But I think that we would all be lying if we weren't saying that there are some concerns, right? We're a little bit concerned about certain areas of the team. So in this video, I want to address my three biggest concerns for Ohio State this season. And these are the things that I feel like if they happen, there is the potential for Ohio State to not win the national championship. If these things do come out to be true and maybe they aren't as good, maybe they struggle in some kind of way, these would be the reasons why Ohio State doesn't win the national championship in my mind. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look at the depth chart because my first concern is injuries. Injuries is my number one concern for Ohio State this season. And it's not because I don't think the two deep is very good. I mean, the reason I bring this up is because I want to take a look at it together. It's from our lads. Now, our lads, they do their best. I think that there's some stuff here that's probably not completely accurate. Like I think Tegra is most likely going to be that starting right guard. I think that you either going to see Jelani Thurman or Will Kazmarek probably getting more snaps than G. Scott Jr. at the tight end position. I don't know if they'll start. I mean, sometimes Ryan Day can be a little iffy with that when he does. I mean, just take Jelani Thurman. He started the Missouri game, the bowl game last year, but he played the least amount of snaps out of all the tight ends. So, or at least all the tight ends that played. So, I mean, even though he started, he still didn't play as much as many others. So, I don't know how you really take that, but I mean, when I think of possible injuries to deep guys, I'm really thinking a lot about the running backs, right? Not that I'm saying I'm concerned about Travion Henderson coming in or James Peoples coming in, but just because there's so few of these guys, right? I mean, in a season where you're going to be playing 16, 17 games to win the national championship, you're concerned about the possibility of losing a running back when you only have four on the roster. Now, Ryan Day's been asked multiple times, what does he plan to do? He doesn't seem to be too concerned about it. He seems to think that it might not happen. At least that's the vibe he's giving off. I don't know. Deep down on the inside, he might just be terrified of it happening. But he's talked about Caleb Downs. He's talked about Brandon Ennis. And they do have the walk-on, Cisse, from, I'm blanking where he was from right now. But he's from another school, and he's walking on in this situation. So he could possibly be somebody there, but I mean, I just think back to that Georgia game in 2022 and how at the end of the game they had Mitch Rossi back there alongside C.J. Stroud. Everybody knew we weren't handing it off to Mitch Rossi. The only reason Mitch Rossi was back there is because you need somebody who could block and help in pass protection. And so everybody knew C.J. Stroud was going to pass it. I mean, the Georgia didn't need the signals to know that, right? They knew as soon as they saw Mitch Rossi back there. And so I don't want to be in that situation again where it makes you completely one-dimensional, especially in this offense that I think Chip Kelly is going to be thriving on having the deception of we're either going to pass, we're either going to run. I think the worst situation Ohio State can be in on offense is if they're down and they have to pass. Not because I don't think that they have the ability to pass. I think they have fantastic wide receivers, and I think Will Howard is a better passer than some people give him credit for, but because I don't think you want to see this offense become one-dimensional. All right, let's go down to the defense. To be honest, there's not really too much on the two deep I'm concerned about. Maybe Kenyatta Jackson a little bit, just because we've talked about maybe some potential that we really haven't seen yet, but then again, like, it's just talk. You know, Larry Johnson said he's a 1 in his mind. Same thing with Caden Curry. So, like, I don't know. You know, that's just kind of talk. So I guess I'm going to reserve the right to see what we get before he gets in there. But I will tell you that the position that actually has me the most concerned on defense, if there is an injury, is Will linebacker. And I know we have Sonny Styles and CJ Hicks, but I really feel like this combination of the two guys is going to allow Jim Knowles to be able to do some kind of crazy things. He's going to be willing to put Sonny in different spots, maybe bring him out into the slot a little bit, but then you bring CJ Hicks down. He plays close to the line of scrimmage. You might have CJ Hicks be more of a blitzer in certain situations. Who knows? But I don't think we are going to have as formations that are out there every single play, right? I think that Ohio State, they kind of fell in love with the one formation last year with the 2 linebackers and the 5 DBs. I don't think we're going to see that same formation every single time as much. Now, do I think that's their base defense still? Of course. But do I think that CJ Hicks and Sonny Styles give them the opportunity to maybe get a little bit different, maybe only play with 4 DBs depending on what's going on? I totally think so. So the will linebacker position is one that, is it the worst thing in the world if they get hurt? No, but I do think it limits what they can do on defense and some of the surprises they can give some of the offenses they're facing. And I just don't want to lose that. So we'll see. If you guys are concerned about injuries, you tell me. Is there a certain position you're more concerned about? Maybe I'm overlooking here. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. My other concern is offensive line. Okay. Now, I know what everybody says. Everybody says Justin Fry, great developer of talent and all this, that, and the other. And I know I annoy people to no end with my thoughts on Justin Fry at times. So I'm not talking recruiting here. I'm simply talking about his ability to put together an offensive line. And before you turn off and say, oh, JR's on his rant again, look at some of these numbers with me, okay? I'm not trying to say that Justin Fry can't get it done. I believe this offensive line is going to be good this year. But in the situation that they aren't, and the situation that Josh Simmons is not a first round or a second round offensive tackle, in a situation where Josh Fryer, yes, he got stronger, but he doesn't have the technique, we could be in trouble. All right. And I want to look at some of these numbers with Justin Fry. So all we hear about is how well things went with Justin Fry when he was with Chip Kelly at UCLA. But did they really? According to PFF, not so much. All right. Let's look at the PFF numbers. Okay. Let's look at run blocking first. Run blocking in 2019. We're up here at 2019. This was the first year that Justin Fry was at UCLA. Ohio State had an 82.7 run blocking grade. That's good for 9th in the country. Pretty good, right? Stud was still there. They had some really good offensive linemen, so things were looking things were looking good. Well, you go down, 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 keep going down, and we're gonna have to go to the next page to see Justin Fry and UCLA. I'm just going to do the control find. 55. Now, granted, first year for Justin Fry. We'll give him a pass. All right. First year for Justin Fry. He's got to get his guys together. Okay. We'll give him a pass. So let's try 2020. 2020, shortened season. UCLA only played 7 games this year. And I realized I didn't even look at pass blocking. So just to make sure you guys know, I'm not trying to skip anything and fool you. Pass blocking, Ohio State was 30th, understood. UCLA, again, we're going to have to go to the next one here. UCLA, 72nd. Again, like I said, first year. All right, let's not worry too much. 2020. All right, start with run blocking again. Run blocking, again, UCLA only plays 7 games this year, so, we are going to give them kind of a break. But Ohio State played 8 games, and they had an 80.4. That's good for 16th in the country. UCLA, 43rd. Improved, okay? They improved their run blocking. They were 55th. Now they're 43rd. They improved. Let's give Justin Fry some credit there. Still not as good as Ohio State and what Stud was doing, but we'll give him some credit for what he was able to do there. All right. Let's go to pass blocking in 2020. Ohio State, 40th. Ohio State actually had better pass blocking, I would hope. Actually, this was the year that Michigan was 2-4. So, and then UCLA, 50th. All right. About the same, a little bit better, but really not that much of a difference. Okay. So 2021, right? This was the Justin Fry money year. This was the year when the offensive line was great. Justin Fry was doing some really good things. But was he? Run blocking. Ohio State in 2021, the year that Stud got fired. And I'm not advocating that Stud come back. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, the year that Stud got fired, run blocking grade was 88.1. That's 5th best in the country for Ohio State. UCLA, down, 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 down. Go to the next page. Keep going. Keep going. I may have missed them. Let me do the control find again. 42nd. Justin Fry's money year, their best rushing year under Chip Kelly. Justin Fry's last year before he gets hired at Ohio State, 42nd when Ohio State was 5th. Maybe pass blocking was that much better, right? Maybe pass blocking was that much better. Let's go to UC where Ohio State is. Ohio State is 28th. We go down to UCLA. UCLA is 59th. In Justin Fry's best production year for the offense for UCLA was still considerably worse in run blocking and pass blocking. According to PFF, whatever you think about PFF grades, that's fine. But according to PFF, UCLA still had a substantially worse offensive line than Ohio State. So, all right, well, maybe that's just what UCLA is, right? Let's go to 2022. We go to 2022 while it's loading. Let's look at run blocking first. UCLA, 3rd. Ohio State, 4th. UCLA had a better run blocking, granted by 0.3, a better run blocking grade than Ohio State in the first year that Justin Fry was not there. Pass blocking, we can just go over here and look. Ohio State did have a better pass blocking grade. Granted, they had first round of Paris Johnson. They had DeJuan Jones, who turned into a really good NFL player, but still, they had a better pass blocking grade. So Justin Fry beat out UCLA there by, it looks like, about 10 spots. 2023, this was Chip's last year at UCLA. And we look at Justin Fry, his second year with the program. He has Josh Simmons, Donovan Jackson, Matt Jones, Carson Hinsman, and Josh Fryer. Let's see who had the better run blocking. Run blocking, Air Force on top there. That's interesting. We go down. Ohio State, 48th. The worst Ohio State was at run blocking that entire time. And then UCLA, 32nd. Under their new offensive line coach, they were better. 32nd. All right, let's go to pass blocking. Pass blocking, we go down. Let's look where UCLA is. UCLA is at, where are they at? They're not even in the top 100. Ohio State is 64th in pass blocking, but UCLA, under their new coach, didn't even make it in the top 100, 114th. So, as you can tell, Justin Fry leaves. You have much better run blocking for UCLA. However, the pass blocking does suffer. Ohio State has better pass blocking, but Ohio State does get worse in run blocking after Justin Fry gets there. I show you all this to say that, yes, Justin Fry did send Paris Johnson to the NFL draft as the highest drafted offensive lineman. I do think that Justin Fry can develop players, but these numbers don't make it so I am 100% certain that Ohio State is going to have no problem with the offensive line this year. These numbers give me some concern that Justin Fry might not be able to make this offensive line as good as we want it to be. Now, I think Seth McLaughlin helps with that. I think that having another year for Josh Simmons in the system helps with that. I think that the outstanding offseason that Josh Fryer has with that. I think All-American Donovan Jackson helps with that. So I'm not sounding the horn and saying it's going to be a bad offensive line. I still think this is going to be a good offensive line. But when I review the numbers and I look at what UCLA was when they had Justin Fry and what Ohio State was or is under Justin Fry, and how UCLA got better in the run blocking after Justin Fry left, it gives me some concern. And I'll just leave it at that. I will let whatever happens this year happen, and I'm Justin Fry's number one fan this season. I am rooting for him so hard to get this offensive line right. But I think Ryan Day was quite clear when he said that the offensive line is going to dictate things for them this season. It is on Justin Fry's shoulders, which, I don't know. That makes me nervous, gives me some concern. I don't know about you. You tell me, am I overreacting? You think those numbers aren't right? You tell me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then finally, and I don't have any data for this one. It's just a general concern. Does Michigan find more ways to cheat? And I know if you're a Michigan fan, you're watching this, you're like, oh, JR, give it up. I will when I know the cheating has stopped. But Sharon Moore, the entire time he was at Michigan, had that cheating. Do they figure out a way to hack people's headsets? Not accusing them of it. I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying that if I'm being completely honest, that is a concern that I have. If Michigan finds a way to continue to cheat, and we all know the number one team they will be going after to try to cheat against because it was the number one team that they were going after the past 3 seasons, which is Ohio State. You tell me, am I being crazy? Do you guys think, oh, there's no way. There's no way Michigan's going to steal signs. They're not going to hack into our headsets or anything like that. I'll just leave it at this. Since the dawn of football started, ever since they flipped the first coin, teams have been looking for an edge. And if Michigan was looking for an edge before, I don't put it past them to look for an edge again. We'll see. Maybe I'm crazy. You tell me if I'm crazy. But those are my thoughts. Those are my 3 concerns for Ohio State this season. If any of those 3 happen, I do think it possibly could hold Ohio State back from winning a national championship this year. I pray that I'm wrong. I pray that all these things have no issues and we're good. But I would love to hear your thoughts as well. Go follow me over at the Big Ten Huddle, where I'm covering everything Big Ten over there as well. Follow me on JR's Rankings on Twitter. And you can check me out on Sunday nights over at the OHIO podcast. I'm going to be there for the game recaps and breakdowns. And it's where we have a roundtable discussion in the season and in the off season. So thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. Have a good one.